This show is brought to you by Kratzmann Caravans, their RV Super Centre out there at Burpengary, Kev. For over 40 years, Kratzmann have been the starting point for Australian caravans and motorhomes. They are the benchmark. You want to go away? You want to pull a caravan? You want to have a motor? You think of Kratzmann. It's that easy. They've been that good.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense to me, Dobbo. I mean, just up there at Burpengary, aren't they? Just off the freeway there.
On the Bruce Highway. This year is their biggest ever sale. They are having an event sale.
What sort of? Tell me how big the sale is.
Well, mate, they've got things. They've got RVs, $20,000 off a caravan. Like that alone, that's up to. I mean, these guys. They're not just saying, come out, we'll take a couple of bucks off it. Thousands.
That's big money.
Thousands. Now, what you need to do is...
Hey, that's big money even for you in your terms, because you live in the world of money, don't you?
Pot kettle. What you need to do is you need to go out there to Kratzmann and their RV Superstar, end of financial year sale, and say, listen to Dobbo and Kev. I watch Inside Ball.
Show me the money.
Let's go, baby. I want to pull a motor. I want to pull a caravan. I want to take a motor home to Longreach. We're going to be in Longreach next week.
Looking forward to that.
We will see Kratzmann Caravans parked out there. There's nothing sure. They'll be out there. We might even take some happy snaps of it as well. So make sure you tell them that Inside Ball is where you heard this. Go and get yourself a caravan. If it's now the time you want one, just even make an inquiry. They will look after you. Kratzmann Caravan, the best in the business. Hello and welcome to Inside Ball, our preview of Round 12, and obviously a lot going on. Broncos have a bye, Cowboys have a bye, and also the Titans, so none of those Queensland players. Dolphins play tonight. We'll get through the review and the preview very shortly. But some news. Let's get to it. Obviously, both sides now in Origin camp. I'll start with New South Wales and Queensland, and then I'll get to Reece Walsh and obviously some of the big stuff that's going on there. Kevie, Lenu and Latrell on media bans.
Yeah, I don't mind it,
Self-imposed.
I don't mind it.
Why?
Because they need to prepare. That's how, they're two big stars of the game, and you can understand with Lenu, he's been in the news for all the wrong reasons, rightly or wrongly, in the last 2 months, since he's, the Magic weekend and also before that. He's had a run-in with Jonathan Thurston.
Yeah, okay.
And he probably wants it to go away, mate, and go to bed, because all he wants to do is play well for New South Wales. Come off the back fence and play well for New South Wales. Now, I think it's a good move from him, and also for Queensland. We don't need to fire him up, mate. Just let him go, Spencer.
But okay, that's one train of thought, and thank you for offering that. I'll give you another train of thought.
You're dismissing it, are you?
No, I'll just give you another.
Well, give us your side.
You are employed to play rugby league. You are paid way more money than the average Australian.
Yep.
And people are paying. I bought 2 tickets for game one of the State of Origin, $3.50 a throw each.
Yep.
Right? Not cheap to take for my kids to go. You have an opportunity and a responsibility to talk to your fans. So the only person, it might be you're deciding, but I'm not saying every day, but I'm saying if there's an open media day, you can at least do an all-in. You don't have to answer. If you don't like a question, I'm not prepared to answer that.
Well, then you look silly, mate.
No, you don't. You actually are talking and you're being responsible.
No.
I mean, I'm not talking.
I disagree. There's 15 other blokes, like
everybody
superstars
wants
of
to
the game.
hear. Everybody wants to hear from Spencer
Well,
Leniu.
guess what? They can't, because you know why? I bet when he plays his ass off on Wednesday night,
Yeah.
right, that the fans, they'll love him, mate. If he plays the game of his life,
Come on.
and it's easier.
You think Suncorp Stadium's going to love Spencer Leniu if he plays well?
No, I'm saying the New South Wales
Well,
fans.
okay,
They'll boo him, mate.
Oh, he'll get more than booed.
Yeah.
He'll get more than booed.
But, and the other one's
Latrell, well,
he's had a media ban all year, mate.
Yeah, I caused that, unfortunately. But I mean,
Well, how did you cause it?
Well,
Well,
I
come
was the
on,
one who
talk to me.
interviewed. I was the one who interviewed him when he decided to drop the F-bombs.
Right.
I tried to make him stop. He didn't stop. Next thing you know, it goes viral. Next thing, I'm villain number one.
Right, so you and Latrell...
No talkie.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Latrell, I'd like to heal. I'm just going to say that right now. There is one that doesn't.
Right.
There's a few others who know. You know who you are. I'd like to heal as well.
And Dobbo, Latrell Mitchell will be one of the targets of Queensland, obviously, because he's a. But if his performance isn't up to scratch, who are they going to come after?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Latrell Mitchell, mate.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
protecting his own name, his own brand. I got no problems with it.
Hey, listen. Lots going on at the moment. Reece.
Walshy, come on, what's Walshy doing?
Okay, I'm going to just spell it out there.
Come on.
Great kid. Hang on. Great kid. Super talent. Put it aside. Narang Rooster. I get it. Highest paid player at the club. Biggest brand at the club. That comes with another level of responsibility. You're not just a top 30 player. Highest paid.
Yeah.
Biggest brand. So with that means that you are and treated differently. Of course you are. You get way more than most others.
Yep.
So sitting on the sideline on Sunday afternoon with your Broncos going bad, you think it's a good idea to take a selfie with a snake in your mouth, a lolly snake in your mouth, tagging, hang on, YouTube, 8 o'clock, your own YouTube channel. Not cool. Not cool. Should have done it at the start. Should have done it from home before the game. Nothing wrong with promoting your own business. Come on. Then, for him to post that video of him, in the scheme of things, it's a 1 out of 10. It's not that bad. Blokes play up. Blokes do things.
I've seen you do a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't make it.
But has it been posted on social media?
Well, we've got to dig around a bit. Maybe
No, he posted it on his own social media.
He's just having fun, Dobbo. That's what 22-year-olds do, mate.
They do, unless they're the highest played person.
Doesn't matter, mate. That's got nothing to do with it.
Kev.
You know what? You know when we're talking about this, and my son texted me.
Yeah, I know.
And he said, what is all the noise around Walshy for?
Yeah, of course.
We all do that.
Yeah, of course they do. But guess what he doesn't do? Guess what Harry doesn't do? Harry's not paid $1.4 million by a football club.
Okay.
Right? And he wouldn't be in that position
it was silly
without the football club.
Look, I get that 100%. It was silly from Reese, but to blow it up the way they have.
Well,
is it a slow story?
No, it's not. You have got people who I got so many texts.
There's no alcohol, no cigarettes, no drugs, nothing in that shot.
One punch kills.
Except
one punch kills.
Oh, don't go down.
No, I'm being serious, mate. I had people. I didn't think it was bad. I'm just going to say that. But there are people who have different views. Now, the Broncos are a brand, right? So their brand comes into attack, and he's not like a 28th player on a roster. He is their star, the biggest brand they have. And so for me, mate, that comes with more dough, but guess what? More responsibility. Yeah. And so I think good on him. He came out, he owned it. He said sorry. He's made a donation to the Black Dog Institute. All that, wonderful. But it is a story. And I don't know who is running his social media. I don't know. His manager's a dill. I'm just saying that. His manager's a dill. And I just think that he needs to be better advised. I think the club...
Better advised, yes. Smarter decisions, but the way it's blowing up. Come on.
Well...
I mean, you lost the betties, mate. You've done.
Oh, I've done way worse. Way worse.
Well, tell us some of your things that you've done.
I put a car into a swimming pool.
There you
go. But mate.
Well, now the world knows. You're going to get in trouble.
No, I was 20. It wasn't on social media, and I was paid $17,000 a year by a company in the Northern Territory. Very, very, very different.
I wouldn't.
What comes with 1.4 million?
Pool, that car. What sort of car was it?
HQ. Another day. Anyway, all right. We're going to agree to disagree. You're always going to defend him. He's a good kid.
I'm saying it was silly what he did, right? But to get the noise that it did and the traction, I think there's more important things in the world than Reece Walsh's social media.
Were you sad about how that Marty exit? Like, they got a video of him yesterday with walking out of there. Have you been talking?
I haven't seen it.
He's done there. He's completely
that's sad for Marty.
Yeah,
that's another thing. Like, come on, you liked a social media post.
Yeah, but there's obviously a lot going on there. This noise, I've got to be honest, I don't like the blame game on the players at the moment. You never blamed your players. I mean that, and I don't. I know this is. I know
never
this
blames his tools, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Why is it that there's so much noise? And Gordy was very strong on 360 about it, and like. That roster, now we're hearing the roster. We're hearing that there's some dramas.
Mate, that's a premiership roster. That's what start of the year. $2.50, $3, $3.50. Broncos to win the premiership. Nothing's changed. He's got the same roster there.
Are you taking I spoke to you this week. They're not soft. They're not soft. This narrative
they love training hard, those blokes. So, but the Broncos aren't done either. You know, all the noise around, they're done. They're not done. They're still in the race, mate. They're ninth. Should they be up the ladder a bit more? Of course they should be. But look at the roster, the talent they have there. You know, they can turn it around. Certainly, the
You're
ultimate
confident?
believer.
You think they will?
I don't know. I'm not. It's not up to me to turn them around.
But you think they can?
With the talent they have, they should. Yeah, my word, they should.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're a top 4 side. I think it's very hard to get to a grand final, and it's very hard to win one. So I think that they give themselves a chance, but they're certainly not playing well. They're certainly not playing well.
This year could be the year because we've seen a lot of that someone from outside the top 4 sneaks through. You know, let's say a Penrith.
Well, next week's halfway, and they take on Manly.
Right.
Right. Next week is halfway, so that's going to be the benchmark. And I know they get the bye this week. They trained yesterday. They've got a 4-day weekend.
Oh, we'll go away and have a holiday with the Kratzmann Caravan.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Come back next week and get ready for Manly.
But I've got to be honest with you. If they get beaten by Manly, then they go into Renault's 300th against the Titans with the black jersey, you know, with the mental health jersey.
Yep.
And if they lose those two.
Yeah, well, you're looking too far ahead.
No, I'm not. You know, with Origin, you know, can you tell me, I know I'm getting them bogged down on this a bit, and I'm just talking to people, you have to, when you're a club like the Broncos, win a lot of games before Origin, because Origin takes its toll on some of your players. And they're 5 and 6.
Well, what it does, the position they're in, and other teams that find it as well, like Penrith, like the Roosters, who are heavily committed to Origin.
And fringe 8 sides at the moment.
Which they are. They're in and around. Yep. Origin is very taxing. Particularly, they got 5 players each committed to Origin 1. So that's a big out for them. And then you'd like to, ideally, in the ideal world, rest them. So they play Origin Wednesday night. The following weekend of NRL, which will be round 13, you'd like to give them a spell and not play them.
Yeah.
That was my plan on how to do things. But that plan can change when you're chasing points and wins. So it'll be interesting to see what all the 3 different coaches do, whether they back up their players. And players pride themselves on backing up, but I can tell you it's not in their best interest to play a State of Origin game on Wednesday night and back up again
on Saturday.
4 days later.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, Dobbo.
If it was a Sunday, you'd think
and
about
then
it.
Yeah, but again, then you go into next week after that. You know, you start eating to that preparation. When you're playing a huge game like State of Origin into a Saturday or a Sunday game into the following week, which would be a Thursday or Friday. So all of a sudden you're playing 2 or 3 big games in 10 days. Makes it really hard.
Very hard. Kevie, some of the great partnerships in rugby league, I'd say Langer Walters, Stuart Daly.
Yep.
You know, in the modern day, dare I say it, Cleary Luai, been very good partnerships. Not bad. I mean, 4 premierships
Munster
in a row.
DCE for Origin, that's
a pretty good partnership. Well, one of the iconic partnerships that we have at Inside Ball is Inside Ball and Swiftex.
Yes.
Swiftex have been the sponsor and partner of the NRL for some time.
Yeah, I used to see him up on the tries.
Well, mate, they're now part of the family. Swiftex are all about helping Aussies learn to invest in crypto with confidence. I've got to be honest with you. I have wanted to learn a lot about crypto and share trading, and I got into learning and listening to podcasts, but my life changed when I did a simple thing. I downloaded the Swiftex app right here on my phone.
Because I'm not great in that space.
Well, you might not be great, and a lot of our Inside Ball listeners might not be great. Now, we're going to give you a link, and if you're a first-time Swiftex customer, just like what I was the other day, you'll get $20 free Bitcoin to start off with. Right. $20 straight away. Open the account up, first-time customer, Inside Ball listener, $20 Bitcoin credit straight up.
So currency. Where do I find the link?
Find it in the show notes to this episode. It's that easy. Start your learning today. I can't tell you, I did it. I'm not going to, it is a really fascinating thing. I can't tell you how good they are. And I'm happy they're part of our family. I'm happy they're part of NRL. And they can be part of your family as well. It's that easy.
Righto. Well, I mean,
get on board with Swiftex.
I've got 7 members already because I've got a big family.
Yeah, well, I've got my nieces involved. I've got my wife. I've got myself. Just get involved with Swiftex. It's as easy as I can tell you.
Yep.
They are helping you. They are helping us. You know what they're doing? They're helping rugby league. All right. Let's get into the preview.
Yep.
Tonight, Bulldogs take on the Dolphins. The
I
Dolphins are
worry
without...
for the Dolphins.
Oh, mate. I know the Dogs are down on troops, but, I mean, I just can't...
Hammer's gone, isn't he?
Hammer's gone from the Dolphins, but
Yeah.
they've also... No Saifidi, no Gilbert, no Plath, no Marshall King.
I saw Maxi Plath when I was leaving Suncorp
Yeah, he's
last
a couple
week.
of weeks away.
He's still a couple of weeks away.
Yeah,
Still had a moon boot on.
yeah. So... They've got some dramas.
Yeah.
I think
The only saving grace for them is that the Bulldogs have got...
don't have Crichton.
They've got about 8
or
players
Max
out,
King.
haven't
Yeah.
You know.
But they get Josh Curran back.
they? Yeah, Curran's back, but
yeah.
there's still a heap of them, unavailable,
Yeah. Look, I think the Bulldogs win this one.
I do as well.
Yeah, that's the game.
My tipping has been off, folks. It's been off, and I've been tipping with this. Well, no more. It's coming with
So
this,
you're tipping
Dobbo.
the Dogs?
Tipping the Dogs.
Okay, Manly take on the Eels. Eels no Mo Mitchell-Moses, no Zach Lomax. I know Manly lose Daly Cherry Evans. I can't say, but they've got Travojevic
Well,
back.
Travojevic is going to show the New South Wales selectors and the coach why he should be in the team. I can understand why he's not,
Yeah,
but I believe he'll show them why he should be in the team.
right. Okay,
Right.
Yep. Now, then we go to Panthers Knights on Saturday. The Knights outsiders, despite Penrith with 5 out.
The Knights are very outsiders, mate.
Yeah.
Penrith,
They got no Caleb
5
Bonner.
players
Yeah.
in Origin,
Yeah.
right? And also a couple of other players missing. That Papali'i's not there, right? But I still I just can't see them winning.
No, I'm with you on Penrith as well. Roosters take on the Sharkies. This game, Sharks are starting. They've lost no one.
Well, Stone Street's out.
Stone Street's out, but he's not for rep duties. But,
But Hiroti comes back in, so they're not going to miss much there,
mate.
right?
And they've got Nico and Trindle. They have got Aiden Fanua. They're in good touch. I think they beat the Chooks. The Chooks have got a lot out.
They've got five Origin players as well as some injuries there to top it off. So, Nafu White, I think
well done to him. Signed a 3-year extension.
he's out as well. I think he's injured this week.
Yeah, but mate, he's going to be long term. 19-year-old long term. That's a good signing.
Yeah, those Roosters kids, are coming through. That's a similar team that started the year for the Roosters. So, but they're in a much better space now. They'll give a good account of themselves, but I can't see them winning that game, the Roosters.
No. Warriors take on the Raiders. This is the Sunday game. It's a standalone
the big one,
game.
Dobbo.
Yeah, it's over in Auckland, and I believe, firstly, great news about Leka Halasima, this edge forward for the Warriors, signed to the end of 2029. He to me is an absolute superstar.
We've seen that.
19, very, very good. Well done. A superstar's a big word, but very talented footballer. Despite all that, no Mitch Barnett.
Or James Fisher-Harris.
James Fisher-Harris, no win. I think Canberra win this one.
Well, Hudson Young's not lining up for the Raiders either.
But they got the mules, Zach Hosking, more than Smithies.
Yeah.
Simi Sasangi. They're a pretty good side. They are a little down on troops, but this back line of Fogarty and Ethan Strain, Xavier Savage, Sebastian Chris, Matt Timoko.
It's a good side.
Now,
you're pretty tight with Ricky, I know that, and so am I. What, have you spoken to him, or what's the matter?
Well, he's furious that he had to go on another road trip. I mean, they've been to Darwin, Las Vegas.
I think it's galvanised them, though, and got them together, more so than it normally would.
Yeah, well, they had a good win last week against Titans. They're going along very well. Yeah. They're a very good side.
This is a step up in class now, isn't it?
I think this is a real test, but I think the Warriors, they're overinflated at the moment.
You reckon?
Yep, I do. They scratched out a win against the Dolphins last week. Yeah. You and I both were at that game.
But they were always in command, though. They were never going to lose.
The Dolphins were absolute rubbish.
Well, they couldn't score points, could they, until they had 12 men.
Yeah, and so I just think Canberra win this one.
This will be a ding-dong game, though.
Who are you tipping?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Raiders as well. I just feel, no Fisher-Harris and Mitch Barnett. They said two starting middles out.
Yeah.
And the Raiders, I know they're missing Hudson Young, but they've still got some big men through the middle.
Yeah.
Horsburgh.
Yeah.
He's got something to prove. He is my Kratzmann.
Player on the move. Your Kratzmann player on the move this week is Corey Horsburgh. The Red Terror. Why?
The Red Terror. But, mate, I just feel like he's got something to prove, something to show. He will play a part in the series. He's on the move, mate. The Kratzmann on the move, the Caravan that's on the move is Corey. And you want
Kratzmann's Caravans and Motorhomes, mate, their end of financial year sale is on. His player on the move is Corey Horsburgh, the Red Terror. Don't start taking my players. He's been one of mine all year. Now you've jumped on the Red Terror.
I tried to sign him 2 years ago at the Broncos.
Why? Why didn't he?
Because
no dough. We got no cash. No cash here.
But he could be the difference there.
Yeah.
Right? I love the way he plays. Everyone loves the way he plays. He will play a part in the Origin series.
Yep.
Maybe game 2 or 3. But
I think so as well. Billy said that. I asked Billy about it. All right. Kratzmann's Caravan, player on the move and RVs and motorhomes. We love them. Go out to Burpengary. See them. Tell them Inside Ball sent you. Player on the move, Corey Horsburgh. Our bets for the week.
Right.
And this is...
Now, we're going to simplify it this week, Dobbo, right?
Yep.
We're going Manly to win.
Yes.
Into Sharks to win.
Yes.
Into Raiders to win.
Yes.
Right? That's the big one over there. And Xavier Savage.
To score.
To score. Anytime try scorer.
Mate, that's a great bet.
Well, we've gone...
Manly into the Sharkies, into Canberra, Xavier Savage to score. I reckon you get $6.
Been a bit safer there. I'm not sure what price it is.
Have a look. I reckon that'll be $6 to $7. But you know what?
Because we haven't had much luck.
Gamble responsibly, but your tips have been rotten.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, well, this one, I think this is the square up. Don't get the home on it, though. It's a couple of shillings so you can take your wife out to a succulent Chinese meal. China Sea, preferably. But to me, very, very good.
Yeah, I like
Now, we will give you an Origin. Mark Coyne was very good. We will give you a Origin preview on Monday.
Yep.
And also, we will be back with a player next week on Origin Day.
Wow, this fella's...
Mate.
He's Origin tough, isn't he?
Mate.
Hey?
This bloke,
my favourites.
he's hard to handle.
And I've got a lot of favourites.
He's hard to handle on and off the field. But I'll tell you what, he's elite. Now, questions for Kev. We always get questions for Kev, and we like them and keep them coming. Hey, Kev, would Kobe look out of place on an edge for 20 to 25 minutes isn't enough, mate?
Look, that's something that I looked at when I was there, is giving him some time on the edge. He's played there for us in games. I think he'd handle it well. He moves well with his leg speed. He's a smart football player, and he could do some good damage with the ball there on the edge as well. So, yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Why isn't Aidan Fanua-Blake ever mentioned for the New South Wales Origin side? Is he because he's not eligible because he's playing for...
well, has he played for New Zealand and Tonga, hasn't he?
Yeah, so...
Tonga
you can play if you play for Tonga, but maybe New Zealand, that's ruled him out. That's the only reason.
Yeah, but I think their middles are... Well, he would be in that side.
He's a very good side.
Yeah, he would be in that side if he was available.
Do players and coaching staff feel less pressure during the Origin window?
No, there's more pressure. That's when the heat gets turned up. In clubland, certainly when you're missing your Origin players, and I mentioned before about who do you back up? Do you back them up after an Origin? And that puts pressure on players. So, I remember the great Glenn Lazarus. This was back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
He played City. Remember the old City Country games?
Sure.
So he was playing for for Sydney City against New South Wales Country in an Origin trial.
Yeah.
On the Friday night. We played the Dragons on the Saturday. So he played 80 minutes Friday night in a representative game and backed up in Sydney the next day and played for us against the Dragons and was in our top 2 or 3 players. That's Origin tough.
That's Origin tough. Do you think Adam Reynolds' offering to retire to keep Cobbo and Huss is necessary or not?
No, I don't think Adam will be at the Broncos next year.
Me neither. It's another story for another day.
For another day, but yeah, I don't think that's going to. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you'll find either if Adam is there, those that Cobbo and co may have to move on.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think that could happen as well. I'm a little worried.
What are you worried about?
Well, I just think that maybe losing Reynolds, it could really fracture the ship. He's a glue that keeps them together.
Yeah.
So
well, part of the reason why we got him there originally was
leadership.
For that reason.
Are the Broncos going to make the 8 in September?
Yeah, they'll make the 8.
They will?
What do you think?
I don't know.
No, I think they'll make the 8.
Yeah, Penrith or Broncos if you had to choose to make the 8?
I'm going to say the Broncos.
Yep, I think that's right as well. Will Kevin Walters and Trent Barrett be coaching at the Titans or the Bears next year? Jackson, Mark Freeman. Thank you for your question. You don't have to answer that.
No. Well,
there's no jobs available.
That's the unknown. Yeah, that's the unknown, isn't it? Well, the Bears' job's up. and I've had a bit of a chat, which everyone knows about that. So there should be a decision coming through on that, in the next week or so, because they were very keen to get someone appointed as quickly as they could.
They need to do that.
Big job that one, Dobbo.
Big job that. Now,
West.
we've been giving away, we had that draw for the Origin tickets. 2 tickets, game 1, start of Origin.
Yep.
We had a lot of winners. Would you believe it? We had 4 or 5 winners. Now, we drew this out this morning.
That's unbelievable how people can get that right.
Well, we will learn with our next giveaway that there will be a cut-off date.
We've got our winner?
We got our winner.
Can we announce our winner?
Noah_low15 is the winner of our Origin tickets. Congratulations. He's got 2 tickets.
We'll be
You'll be there on
with
Wednesday. Yep. Our producer, Darcy, who loves doing all the dirty work, he will get in contact with you, and you will be getting 2 tickets to Origin next week. Congratulations. We are really excited for you. Thank you to everybody that we had a lot of entries. So we really appreciate that. Kev, have a good weekend. What games you got for Fox?
I'm doing Friday, Saturday. So
Saturday.
It's a smaller week. What's there? 5 games, isn't there?
Yeah.
This weekend. So reduced schedule for everyone.
Yeah.
But looking forward to next week. And
can't wait. We will be giving you a preview on Monday, and we've also got an amazing guest for you on Wednesday. The day of Origin will drop. Can't wait for that one. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much. Go to Inside Ball podcast, _podcast, Inside Ball, all the stuff. We've got it all there. Thank you, Kratzmann. Thank you, Swiftex. Big supporters of Inside Ball. We'll see you again next week.